All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Wisdom Keys, and I'm Brother Francis. I'm glad to be here today with you, and so that you can have this golden opportunity to be able to come on live with me today. Before we do that, I just want to make sure everything is coming through properly. So, yes. Well, today's topic, this is Wisdom Keys, and I'm Brother Francis. I'm here every Thursday, usually about 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for about 30, 40 minutes of time. And I enjoy being here. I'm a spiritual counselor, and I've been doing this line of participation in life and helping other people for over 45 years or more. And I enjoy helping people like yourself find greater clarity in your life, as well as define and redefine your purpose as you are right now and where you're going in your own life. So I often try to come up with topics, subject matters that can help you right away at this moment in your life. So you don't have to wait. You can just go into it, okay? So, thank you for joining me. Today is Thursday, April the 28th, 2022. And this particular topic for today is perhaps it is best that you be of value than to just be successful. We often want to be successful in life. All of us do, right? We want to find something in our life that makes us feel important, that makes us strive to want to go forward in life, want to be better for ourselves, for our loved ones, family, friends, peers, co-workers, you name it, your neighbors. But we have to start looking at what we might be worth to others, but also worth to ourselves. What's important? Can we benefit by any of the things that we're doing, but can other people benefit from it as well? One of the great principles of life is being able to allow yourself to express unconditional love, to give that back to yourself as well as to other people. Why? Because it raises their energy, it raises your energy, it makes you feel better, but it also makes that person in your life feel better. To be at peace with yourself, that's very important. To be at peace with your body, to be at peace in your life, in your mind, in your heart, in your life. So, this talk today is about value, not just being successful. Because if you want to, you can see that you're being successful on some level in your life. Now, one of the ways or things you might see yourself being more successful is what you're doing in your life right now, especially what you're doing brings happiness into your life. But can you be happy with yourself? You definitely have to be happy with yourself and for yourself first. You have to love yourself, always love yourself before you can love another. You have to be a person who's giving, but you have to be able to give to yourself fully before you can give energy out to other people. And that energy can come in the form of assistance. Some people do it financially, some people do it emotionally, people do it mentally. It's being supportive in another person's life so that that person could also fulfill their life, their journey, a lot better than what they're doing in the moment, if that's what they're seeking to do. So I had to look up the word value. And here are some of the things that I found, and I've kind of put it together in a composite department, so to speak, put it all together. So the word value means that there is something that is of usefulness. It's important. It has worthiness for you to do. It's well deserving. It is also a person's principles or standards of behavior and beneficial. So you have a high regard for something in your life that's has a lot of worth to it. That's worth to you. In other words, it means something to you in order for you to do it. And so when we talk about giving something value, then it's how you see it and how it makes a difference at the same time. So, as an example, all of us that come through Resident Essentials, we're all doing something of value that is beneficial to one's metaphysical and spiritual growth in their life. You might look at what you're doing every day for yourself that lends balance to yourself, but to your family members. That's beneficial, that somehow educates on a spiritual level, educates the metaphysical side, the philosophical side, something that is going to give you a level of nourishment that's going to help you grow your mind, grow your awareness, grow your compassion, grow your gratitude. So often we have to look at things. It's not just being successful. Sometimes many of us grow up now. I'm going to take myself as an example, and I know many of my family members and relatives, we all grew up, wanting to be successful, but wanting to be something in life, as we would say. A professional athlete, way back in the time in the 60s and the 70s, where athletes weren't making millions of dollars. They were making maybe $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, right? Athletes, entertainers. That was the next thing. I want to be an entertainer. I want to be an actor. I want to be a well-known artist. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a judge, a politician, something that I can feel that can give that's of value. But you want to do it so that it's helping your community, helping your family, raise their level, raise their standard. So again, we are seeking ways in which we could live life to the fullest and live it better every day. And while doing so, we are lending value to ourselves. So we might want to begin to look at what we're doing in life that can lend value, that can make you feel better, do better, and have more what? Value. Then you can think about being successful. We want to make the right choices for ourselves. That's very important. Can you make the right choice for yourself? And also understand that sometimes it's okay if you change your mind. Think of it like when you're a youngster, you're in grade school, then you get a chance to go to high school. During those times, from grade school to high school, you're finding yourself. You're trying to find out who you are. You're trying to uncover things about yourself that uplift you, and in the process, uplifts other people in your surroundings. Then when you are in the middle of high school, at some point you might know. How many times do you remember saying you knew right away that you wanted to be a police person, a mail carrier? You wanted to be a banker. You wanted to be a person that sold cars. Again, you wanted to be someone that could be renowned and remembered, right? But in high school, you're still trying to find yourself. You're a teenager, not an adult yet. But many people in their life were thrusted into adulthood at an early age. Maybe one or two of the parents has transitioned. They had to live with grandparents or aunts and uncles, or they didn't have that. They were thrown into a system, right? A system that was supposed to take care of them or protect them. There are all kind of avenues that we walk down and all kind of avenues that we go through, striving to be better, striving to find out who we are and how can we benefit from it. But then you learn it's not just about yourself. So how can you assist others while you're assisting yourself, giving value to yourself, which also can set up a certain example, yourself or your life or your friends. It becomes like a model, and it's a way of showing someone else there's a different route, there's a better way. So we often find ourselves in these positions, and we may not realize that we place ourselves into these positions in life. As I used to say always, I like to be in my lane. Once I discover what my lane is for myself, I don't need to venture outside of my lane. I need to widen my lane, which is my life. We all do it, and we all are striving to do it on some level, right? We're always trying to be better, do better, have more. But we have to find out the value of the things that we want, that we feel that we deserve, and how can we place a value on those things. We all know growing up, the old standards were get an education, get a job, or have a career, find a life partner to be with, have children, a home, a roof over your head, clothes, food. And that was like the standard, right? Then there were many of us who didn't have that and maybe still don't have that. So always pushing all the time. So we had to set up along the way standards for ourselves that we could live by in a comfortable way so that we would have the peace in our life, which then allows us to think on a broader level and to think clearly. So, value is a tool of importance. Our values are a set of principles and standards that we are living by, which allows us to feel greater and to make a great impact in our surroundings, as well as raise everything up with you, not just stay in one little area or what you might consider a small area. Often we have a lot of valuables: computers, cell phones, lights, food. We got these things that are valuable for our survival, but for to thrive in life, we often have to look. But where do we have to look? It's not outside of ourselves, it's on the inside. So you have to go inside to discover who you are, to kind of sit with that part of yourself. Then you got to look at how you're interacting with other people. Some people love to interact on a real broad scale. Some people just need a little corner of the world to be in. Some people are introverts. Some people are extroverts. So, extroverts. So, in other words, you're more outgoing. Excuse me, I'm stumbling because I'm tired. But we want to be better. We want to do better. We have to find out what is of value to ourselves. We all do. And how we see the value in our lives will change. How you feel about yourself and feel about your values will change. What you're thinking creates change. So when you start looking at, I want to be more successful in my life so others can see me. Don't worry about the stage so much. Don't worry about how others will see you, because all that is important is how you see yourself. I did a teaching a couple of weeks ago on a quote from Bruce Lee, the late martial artist, Chinese martial artist, Chinese American martial artist, Bruce Lee. And it was all about learning how to see through yourself, see into yourself first. Spend time looking at yourself, looking at your life, looking at what you're doing before you start seeing through the lives of others, seeing into the lives. So it is the same thing here. When you understand you're valuable or how valuable you are to other people, you can take an inventory with yourself. You can make a list and ask all of your friends. And it doesn't matter if you got just two friends or you got 20 friends. Email them one day, send them a letter another day, call them and say, hey, I want to start seeing my value, or things I need to do, things I need to improve on. And ask them, how valuable am I as a son, a daughter, an aunt, and an uncle, a parent, a friend, a coworker? How valuable am I to you? And what do you see in me? What do you see about me? What am I doing that has made an impact, whether it's large impact or small impact in your life? Just ask them to express that in a few words, how they see you. Sometimes this is a good way of finding out, because sometimes we don't often say who we are. We don't often do that, right? We don't sit down and say, okay, this is who I am. The good parts, the quote bad parts, quote, nonchalant parts. You look at yourself like, I don't know if I'm that or not. But sometimes it's good to do that. When you go out with your friends or you with family members, you're sitting down and, as they say, sharing bread with each other, having a meal with each other, having some coffee or some tea. Ask them to truly say how you may have impacted them or not. Why? Because it gets you to get outside of your personal space in your mind. It helps you to get past, the ego, your ego, and begin to see or hear from others how the relationship you have with them has been beneficial for them. And this is a way of finding out who we are. Now, not everybody is going to see you in the light that you're thinking that you want to be seen in. Because after all, you're asking them, right, to describe how they've been interacting in life with you and you to them, and if it's valuable. Is there something that you have done that's made them feel better about themselves and the life that they are in, the stage that they are right now? Is there something that does that? And it's just an exercise. But this exercise is, and I'm going to use the word now, very valuable to who you are, because that exercise, asking others to write or email you back and say how you have impacted their life, how you've been beneficial to them. Did you bring some more unconditional love, compassion, gratitude into their life? Are you grateful or have been grateful? So it's a good exercise to do. So before I sign off today, we're going to do a meditation where you're going to feel that for yourself, your true value for yourself. Now, before I do that, I want to make some announcements while you're getting ready. So get yourself a cup of water, get some tea, iced tea, what you need, so that you can do this and feel comfortable. You know, one of the unique things is not only am I here for Resident Essentials every Thursday at 1 p.m., Resident Essentials, the group here on the YouTube channel for Resident Essentials. And yes, I'm offering these wisdom keys. I'm Brother Francis. I try to get by here at 1 p.m. to offer these keys to you. Oh, C. McDonald, I hope it's helping you in some way. Thank you for watching, and for all the other people watching. Um, I want to mention some of the other people that are connected to Resident Essentials. Michelle Vidal, who's the owner, she's a metaphysical teacher. She's the founder of Resident Essentials out here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She's on every Monday at 12 p.m. and she teaches a whole variety of metaphysical teachings and subject matter. And so you want to tune in right here on Mondays at 12 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, and 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And her teachings will put you on a track, okay, so that you can understand how to work certain things with yourself. So she's here at 12 p.m. on Mondays, here for Resident Essentials, right here on YouTube. Now, here's another person, Donna of Dominion Tarot. She comes on, her day is Wednesdays at 12 p.m., and she calls it Walk In Wednesdays. So, what happens is, through the various tarot cards that she will pull one card for you and give you insight, quote reading for the day. Or you can ask her a question. You can ask any one of us questions. We do our best to help you. So, keeping that in mind, there are other people that come through Resident Essentials out here. Now, every Saturday at 12 p.m., every Saturday, if you're here in the state of New Mexico, coming from Belen, south of us, or Los Lunas, south of Albuquerque, or from Santa Fe all the way down here into Albuquerque, I'm here with my Creative Pathwork Meditation Series at Resident Essentials, located at 3107 Eubank, which is Eubank Boulevard, Northeast, inside of the Scottsdale Shopping Village. Okay, and that's just north of the intersection of Candelaria Boulevard Northeast and Eubank. Eubank runs north and south, and Candelaria runs east and west. You come in to store suite number 34 is the black door. The building is green when you see it, so when you pull in. And I'm there from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And I do a Creative Pathwork meditation series. What does that basically entails? I'm doing guided meditation with you, and I'm helping you get clear by using guided meditation. And I teach for about an hour. And I also get your feedback. I always want people to interact. It's just not receiving, but also expressing, verbally expressing. So that cost per class right now is $10. I may go up a little bit more in the future, in the near future. But that's right here inside Resident Essentials, Suite or Door 34. Now, every second Saturday and every fourth Saturday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. for $15 is Donna of Dominion Tarot, and she's giving spirit classes. What that entails is helping you find your abilities and enhance them. And there are different ways in which they are done. Um, Sometimes you might do it through using a crystal ball, developing that, or candle flame, developing that, or using a Ouija board, and not be afraid of it. That's another way. But just go with your intuitive nature to develop that. That's one of the things to do. So there often, if you go into and join up on Resident Essentials, the group, Resident Essentials, the group on Facebook, and join there, you could keep in touch with us and see all the other courses or classes that are being offered. Usually every second Sunday, usually every second Sunday, except for the second Sunday of May will be Mother's Day, so we won't be there. But on Sunday, May the 15th, is free admission for Resident Essentials Psychic and Healing Fair. And I'm one of the practitioners that will be there. Usually Donna of Dominion Tarot is there. The founder and owner of Resident Essentials, which is Michelle Vidal, is there. We also have Rosemary Navarra is in there. Sometimes we also have Tracy Whitted. Tracy Whitted comes from Santa Fe, and she does transmosis healing. So there's a whole lot of healing methods and techniques. That's all these sessions, most of them, when we're reading or healing session. Susan Zuma will be there as well doing Soma Pi healing and PAT technique, which is perception awareness technique, which is she's giving you reading. I'm there. I do something connected to the Angel of Grace, but better yet, I'm there doing a 30-minute session for $30, and it's celestial I am drawings. So I use some colored pencils and I tune into your auric field, and I can hear information that you need to hear about. And that's $30 for 30 minutes, because not only am I drawing the energy onto paper, 9 by 12 paper with beautiful colored pencils, but I'm also giving you a short reading at the same time that you can record using the video camera on your phone or the audio portion. So the $20 for 20 minutes is just about for everybody else. If you're in town in Albuquerque, New Mexico, on May the 15th, which is a Sunday, stop by. Admission is free. Free admission. We're here from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Now, if you want to get a session with any one of us, don't wait until 5 o'clock. That time, that's when we're wrapping everything up, and we're all, you know, tables and chairs are going down by that time. So make sure you want to come early to get yourself a session with any one of us. There's so many things. Now, also, we have an astrologer in our group by the name of Johanna Radar. Johanna Rader, she's going to go online at 3 p.m. and she's going to give an astrological take on what's going on. So she's going to give you an astrological forecast for the week from Saturday, and she's been doing this every Saturday, but she took a little time off, so she's going to be on this Saturday at 3 p.m. and she's going to do that. You might be able to watch it through Facebook group Resonant Essentials. So That's Joanna Rader. And she's very good at what she does. I've gotten some astrological consultations from her. She's really, really good. So I just want to put this information out to all of you. Now, right now, I want to take you into a very, very short meditation because not only do I do guided meditations, but the purpose of my guided meditation, which I call creative pathwork meditations, is to eventually help you get into the space of the silence so you can receive from your higher self, your ancestors, your spirit guides, and so forth. So I want you to take a moment with me right now. Let me clear my throat with water. While I'm clearing my throat, C. McDonald says, yes, thank you. I'm glad you're getting this information. She says, and this is for everybody and for her, she says, I don't trust anyone anymore. How do I get past that? Well, one of the things is you got to go within. All the work that we do is on the inside. So we're not going to look at the externals of what the things that happened outside of ourselves. We need to go in ourselves. And one of the things is, since if you're not trusting anybody anymore, because maybe there have been a lot of backstabbing, right? So what you want to do is get inside of yourself, get in touch with your emotions, what you're feeling. And what you want to do is forgive yourself. You don't have to worry about forgiving them, the trespassers, is forgive yourself. And you want to do this with a great deal of compassion and with unconditional love. So you want to give that to yourself. By giving that to yourself first, you build up, rebuild yourself, right? You purify, you clear the mind, all that baggage in the mind and all that baggage in the emotional part of the body. And we begin to clear that out. The same thing would be like people who've been dating each other and seeing each other or married to each other, and then trust and betrayal falls in there somewhere, and then you feel betrayed. You can't trust the person anymore. So you have to find a way to disconnect from that person. And one of the ways is don't have any more dealings with them. Don't call them and don't receive a call from them until you cool down and get inside yourself and work and rebuild from the inside out. To forgive ourselves is a higher calling because by forgiving ourselves for being in the entanglement with other people, we learn to eventually say no. We learn that it's okay if someone asks you. Think of it, if you borrow, um, you loan money out to somebody, and it's a considerable amount of money over a period of time, not just one lump sum. And you're constantly asking for the money, and you don't get that money back. You're welcome. You don't get that money back. You might have to start to think like, why did I give them the money in the first place? I've done that. Give money to people and they act like they don't owe you the money back. They'll tell you, oh, it was just a gift. I remember you just told me it was a gift. A gift. A considerable amount of money was a gift. If you know you didn't say that, they're just playing what? What's that phrase? Don't let people play on your intelligence. So what we learn to do now is so that we don't keep going through this distrust, this disloyalty that we experience with other people, because this goes back to the word value. You have to value yourself. What is your self worth? What is beneficial to you? So whether it's a business relationship, a marital relationship, or just people aren't married but they're living with each other, dealing, interacting with each other, even when you're dealing with your own children or your neighbors, co-workers, colleagues, it boils down to the same thing. What are the benefits of the relationship? that you're having. Do you know some people love drama? They are addicted to drama. You're in a state of peace of mind at the moment, and they're calling you up, unloading their addiction on you. That's what people talk negative all the time, right? And all you hear is all this negativity, and they only tell you what was hurting them, but they don't say what they did to someone else and how hurtful it is to someone else, the things that they said, the things that they did. And we all have gone through it, all of us. For the most part, you try to be as transparent as possible. You try to speak with truth from your heart, from here. So everybody can speak from here. Anybody can think of a thought and then say it. But can you sell it from here? So that first thing is going inside yourself, sitting with yourself. So in this meditation, we're going to sit with ourselves. You're going to inhale and then just let the breath out of your mouth. Inhale again, exhale. Now, anybody listening to this live now, or if you come back and replay it, I just want you to get into this emotional well, the state of wellness, where all you're going to do first is shower yourself with unconditional love, no strings attached, accepting yourself just the way that you are right now. And as you do that, that inhaling and exhaling, every time you're exhaling, you feel as though you are expanding and allowing unconditional love to settle into your life, to settle into the mind, to settle into the body. And you see it pouring out of you into your immediate environment. So as this begins to happen, yeah, blessings to you. That's okay. If you, Jackie, is fine. So if you feel this, right, you got this hurt that came from distrust and disloyalty, gossip, you name it, words that were laid on you that don't even belong to you. Because when people do that, they're coming from a place of being hurt. But you didn't hurt them. The hurt was already there with them. They just haven't dealt with the hurt, but you got hit with the hurt. You got hit with the fallout. So you got to go inside yourself because you sometimes, and all times, we are all co-creators in lives. In your life, you're the star, and here I am. You're watching me here at Resident Essentials YouTube channel. So if you're watching me, I'm like the co. I'm not the co-host. I'm in the background. I'm a part of your life this way. But you have to go within yourself, and you got to release yourself by being forgiving to yourself. Forgive yourself. So you may say something like, right now, I'm going to forgive myself for making such a bad choice, for, staying in this situation with this person, man or woman, where I thought things were going to be better. And I was seeing all of the red flags, but I didn't pay attention in the beginning. So I'm not going to beat up on myself about it anymore. And you just stop right there with that. Inhale, let it out. Inhale, let it out. Inhale, let it out. And at that point, as you're letting it out, that third breath, I want you to, as you inhale, see all this beautiful pink light, white light, purple light, royal blue light. See all this beautiful, colorful light rolling in your direction that represents forgiveness. But you're forgiving yourself first. It's coming from the higher self into you. It's coming from the higher self that's housed inside of you as well as outside of you. And that higher self is giving love to you. No strings attached. And usually when you do this enough times, especially when you get up in the morning or especially going to sleep at night, you do those moments of self evaluation, how your day was. Do it for yourself first. Then once you strengthen yourself from the inside out, you feel better. Now you can, I'm gonna forgive so and so. I'm gonna forgive that person because they don't understand what they're doing or what they're saying. And even if you know that they do understand that they're trying to be hurtful, you're going to learn how to forgive them anyway. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of work to do that. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of work to be able to let something go. And I can tell you, I've been in numerous battles like that. And I had to like grab myself and say, "Hey, brother Francis, you need to stop. I need to stop doing that." And not just wishful thinking stopping, actually stopping. Cancel out any thought I had that would have been negative about a person, any feeling that I had that was negative. You just have to feel it for a moment and then, okay, I need to let that go. And once you can do that, once you can let it go, and I mean let it go. Now that may involve you shedding some tears. Let the tears flow. Letting tears flow is a way of trusting that you're going to be all right. You ever get those phrases like, it's going to be sunny. It might be raining today, but the sun will come out. That was in the Broadway Annie, right? And the sun will come out tomorrow. You could bet your bottom dollar, tomorrow. So, got to know that the sun is here. The sun is in the center of your chest. The sun is your heart. And once you begin to let it go, you start developing value, true value. You start realizing what's important, what's really important. It's not my success, it's what I play, what kind of value am I placing on it? Because you want to live, and I'm not preaching, don't take it to me as preaching. You just want to live in such a way that you're not carrying any burdens around. Like one of my ancestors would say, you want to go home at night, lay your head on a pillow, and you don't want to be sleeping like this. You want to sleep with both eyes fully closed, fully relaxed in your bed, and having a good night's rest and sleep. You just want to let things go. Well, I talk about compassion in one of my books. Um, the first book that I wrote was called Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. There's a segment in there on compassion, the art of compassion. You know, these things that I talk about are things that I have experienced. So it's not like thousands of times that you do something, it's being consciously aware of what you are doing. Be consciously aware, be open enough. Now, it's very hard. You remember those phrases people would say, I don't want to wear my heart on my sleeve anymore. I don't want to stay so wide open. But sometimes, and I can tell you now, I'm 70. I walk around with my heart wide open. I've been doing it for the past 15 or 20 years. Now, it may appear to be painful. That big old brick of anger from someone else is coming my way, but I can deflect it because I love me. So when you love yourself enough, you will properly choose who to be with and who not to be with. That's how you will qualify something because it's not the quantity. We always think we got to have thousands of friends. No, we need to have the right friends, but we need to have principles first. What is a principle? A principle is a fundamental truth. That means the foundation, the basic truth of all truths. And what's a maxim? Maxim. A maxim is the ultimate, absolute truth. That's what a maxim is. You walk around with the absolute truth. Truth doesn't change. Light doesn't change. It looks like it's changing, but it's still inside. It has the same amount of energy. So when you, in other words, here's an exercise for everybody. When if you're home, when you're home, practice this at home every day. Whether I don't care what time of the day it is, but it works best when you first get up. And I want you to take a look at yourself in the mirror. But I want you to tell yourself, you're all right. You're more than enough. And when you look at your eyes in the mirror, because you're gazing at yourself, all that you see reflected in the mirror gets hazy and just disappears. And all you see is these two eyes, which are your eyes. But it's the vibration of your higher self flowing into you. And you can then truthfully say, I am more than enough. I am unconditional love. I am an unconditional loving person. And because I am that, I can forgive myself as well as forgive another person. I can plant the seed of truth easily in my environment because I've planted it in myself. So we gotta like do that. Yeah, it's us. It's in here. It's inside. We have to come back inside. So when you look in the mirror, what was the guy said? The man in the mirror, right? Late Michael Jackson said, "Take a look at yourself and make that change." We can't wait on someone else. If you have difficulty with a sibling or a parent, somebody who you have can have a codependent relationship, you can't wait on them to change. That's not the answer. The answer is you make the change. You look inside yourself and you make the change with yourself. And the more you start doing that, the healthier you're going to get, the better you will feel about yourself. And then guess what? You'll say to yourself, you know what? I had a pretty successful day today. Why? Because you valued yourself and because you had a standard for yourself. And the standard is a set of principles for yourself to live by, to measure your own life by. That principle or those principles, those standards become like the light that you are. And you begin to carry that light. As you begin to carry the light, you start to look radiant. How many times have you heard somebody come up to you and say, "Hey, I like that hat you got on. I really like that. I like that dress. I like those shoes." Gave you an honest compliment. But what you did when you heard the compliment is say thank you. And you might say something back to that person that said it to you. You might notice, hey, they got on some spiffy, nice jeans. Yes, yes. My perception of today just got better. That's C. McDonald said that. Samara Woods. This is wonderful. Yes, it is. I'm just sharing these thoughts or ideas that we all have. When we start to recognize everything that we have with ourselves, and when we start loving on ourselves first, then others can see the light. Why? Because it's coming from the inside to the outside. It's no longer on the outside. It's coming from the inside to the outside. You don't worry anymore like you used to because you feel better about yourself. You have placed a higher value on who you are. And that value is very unique, and you deserve that value. So that when you're out and about walking, it doesn't matter. You go to your church, your temple, your mosque, and you're a teacher or you're attending a service. You got so much unconditional love. Or you go down to your favorite place where you like to hang out for a happy hour, but you're showing the light. It's pouring out of your pores because you are this newfound being. You are now brand new. You are like the sun, the light that's pouring out of your heart now. And you become better and better and better. I just had a thing where I'm saying this, and a hummingbird came right up next to the window looking at me. I guess they heard the message too. Everything's a vibration that we give off. We resonate. When we resonate a vibration, we put it out there. That level matches something else that comes our way. And it starts riding on your frequency. Have you ever been the life of a party? You've been invited to some type of social environment, a gathering of people where there's going to be a band and people playing. Everybody's humdrum. Everybody's waiting for somebody to get on the floor and start dancing. You came maybe by yourself. You walked up to somebody and said, "Hey, let's get out on the floor and dance." Or you came with a friend and you all get out there and you start dancing. Well, you start dancing with no care in the world, right? You start doing any kind of dance, but it's a dance that brings joy because every time your foot hits the floor, it expresses your value, the energy of your value. And so much joy goes out into the world because you have now created it. Everyone else is now not just seeing it, not just hearing it, but they are feeling the joy. They realize that person brought a whole lot of value to this engagement, to this party. And everybody in here now is on the floor dancing, having a good time because of one or two people. And the band was doing it by themselves, but they showed up. So, value. Getting back to this title, perhaps it is best that you be of value than to just be successful. Find within yourself who you are. That's important. Find out who you are and live it to the fullest. Live it with joy. Live it with peace, harmony, and happiness. And as you do that, realize you are a benefit. There's some part of you that's going to make something else around you behave better. Your environment will change because you're changing from the inside out. I didn't know I was going to be on this long today, but I'm glad that I was on. If you like this here at Resident Essentials YouTube channel, click the like button, click share it out to others so they can come back and receive it. Today is Thursday, April the 28th. I'll be back on, let's see, what's the date that I'll be back? I'll be back on the first Friday in May next month, first Friday. I usually am on at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 Central, and 12 p.m. West Coast time with Wisdom Keys. These lessons are designed to help you have greater clarity in your life so you can operate now with that clarity. You don't have to wait to operate with it later. If you have any questions, drop your comments and questions here. I'll come back and pick them up and I'll reply to them. Or if you don't want to leave it here, then you can email me at iam. circle of grace with the number one at the end at gmail.com. That's IAM dot circle of grace with the number one at the end at gmail.com. Oh, Paul H. Paul H is my good spiritual nephew from the UK. I know you've been working, Paul, and so am I. And I have some interesting new things that have been developing. I can't say it right now. I have to kind of wait till maybe. No, I'll say it now. I have a cousin, young cousin, first cousin, named Joseph Russell Wheeler II, and his son Joseph Russell Wheeler III. Joseph Russell Wheeler II, my cousin, he's an avid outdoorsman. He likes to fish, and I have them on my website. If you go to my website, www.circleofgrace1.us, you will go and you will see some of the links at the top. Look for I Get It. That's Joseph Russell Wheeler II and Onyx Khan. That's his son. They have a fishing tournament that they do every summer. So this title this year, this summer for July, is Hot Summer or Hot Fish Summer 2022. Well, my brand new logo, which JRW3, the third, did, he reinvented my logo with me. It has the meditation man. That's going to be on their hoodies. And these things are going worldwide. Anyway, that's the most recent thing. I'm working on some new books. I'm working on a numerology book, first time in 48 plus years. I haven't had a chance to write it. I'm working on that. And hopefully, I got to work on it today. Hopefully, it'll be out there by June the 30th on Amazon, because my good friend Lloyd Strayhorn is going to interview me again on Monday, July the 11th. So I have to have this book done and up and out. Thank you so much for coming on and being with me. Paul H., I've been thinking about you and Jennifer and everybody else. Thank you. WH44, this is it. Thank you for being here. Samira Woods, C. McDonald, Jackie Fillmore, Antoine was in here. And I know some more people were here. I just want to give a shout out to everybody. Thank you for coming on. And Bimbo Lackey. Try to get it right. Thank you. Yeah, my books are on Amazon, so I should have had them here around me. My first book is called Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. And that is on Amazon. As a paperback book, is $25. As an ebook, it's $8.88. The book that came after that one, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace, is the experiences that I had in my life, and my late mother, whose name happens to be Grace, and I refer to her as Mother Grace, was my first spiritual teacher. So she talks about 12 things in there, and I experienced all 12 of them. Okay, so and it's almost like two volumes in one, because I talk about my life experience, and then I have something called meeting what was it, meeting, no, manifesting your heart's desires. I give you 10 pathways or steps in which to do that. I also have some affirmative prayers in there, universal prayers and decrees in there. Then my second book is called The Wisdom of Akhenaten, Ahkenaten. That is the remembrance of my experience with Akhenaten in ancient Kemet during the time of him dealing with the solar vibration. That book, as an ebook, is $7.77, and it sells for $11, I think, and 11 cents. Then the companion to that is called The Gift, which is also known as The Wisdom of Nefertiti as I Am, and that book is $11.11. That's on Amazon, but there is no ebook for it, only paperback book. Then the book after that is called The Age of Remembrance. The Age of Remembrance, or the divine I am presence in selenite, Selenite. And I talk about my experiences with the gemstone selenite and how it plays an important part in my life. And I have tons of it all over. I have big ones, about as big as a thigh bone in the other room. This is a piece of selenite, in luminous one, right? It helps with all of the chakras and elasticity in the body and helps the skin. It gives you greater flexibility because inside your body, there's a trace mineral called selenium. And that's what this is. Now, that book sells for $11. And then that's on Amazon. And then the last book I wrote is called Decree and It Shall Be, subtitled Speak as I Am. And I talk about five vessels. The five vessels that we use all the time are meditation, affirmation, prayer, affirmative prayer, and decrees. And I give examples on how to use them. If you go to my website, you'll see a course that I have. I have a course on my website, www.circleofgrace1.us. Let me put that here in the comment section. Let me put this here, http colon. And the course is a signature course that I have. And that signature course is called 5-Point Creative Pathwork System. You'll see the price of it there. You can join me one-on-one and I'll walk you through. I'll teach you how to do it. All you got to do is get the book and I'll teach you how to do meditation for yourself. I'll teach you how to use affirmations for yourself, how to use prayers. And when I talk about use prayers, you're going to write your own prayer. You'll learn how to write a prayer that will work for you. Write affirmations that will key your mind. Write an affirmative prayer and give yourself a spiritual treatment for yourself. And decrees, how to write them. I'll teach you how to find your own cadence so that when you speak, the power within you will be released into your life. And that book sells for $12 on Amazon. All right, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. I didn't realize we're going to have a big audience today. There's a lot of you here. I'm glad you came through. I'm glad I was here to deliver this particular key today of Wisdom Keys with myself, Brother Francis. As I say, I'm here every Thursday, usually at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. This is the longest I ever talked, and I'm a long-winded guy. Thank you so much for your time. My grace is your grace. And remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. See you next Thursday. And have a great tomorrow. Have an excellent, excellent weekend. Take care, everybody.